Let's talk about this Longines Ultra-Chron Carbon. That's kind of a tongue twister for me. I talk to a lot of watch fans who love Longines, and I love Longines. I think Longines does some pretty amazing releases. I personally own several from this brand over the years, and I agree with watch collectors in loving the value that Longines presents, paired with the rich history of the brand. I know some watch collectors that even say that they prefer Longines to Tudor and think Longines outdoes Tudor, which is a more expensive brand that's still held in good regard amongst watch collectors. But it's my opinion that this Ultra-Chron Carbon, although very cool, very interesting, it doesn't have that value that I've come to expect from modern Longines, and that's a little surprising to me. And I almost wonder, what was Longines thinking with this release? I'm going to share the details of the watch and then just hit you with some of my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section below. Thank you to Exquisite Timepieces for lending in this recent release for a presentation. Exquisite is a family-owned Longines AD in Florida. I've borrowed watches from them for years to present. I've bought watches from them many times over the years, including some Longines. So if you're shopping Longines, I recommend Exquisite. A link is in the description. Now let's talk the details of this Ultra-Chron Carbon Edition. This has a carbon case. It has titanium elements like the bezel, the crown, the case back, and the buckle on this strap. This watch has 300 meters of water resistance. It has a signed thread down style crown, and it looks tough. This looks like a pretty sweet sport watch. And with the carbon, it will hide the wear that will accumulate as you use your diver. Now, this has an L836 movement within, which is manufactured by ETA. This is a true high beat movement, so it beats 36,000 times every hour, and it does have a monocrystalline silicon balance and 52 hours of power reserve. The Swatch group doesn't do high beat that often, so I love this caliber. I like the fact that it's found here in this Ultra-Chron. Now, the Ultra-Chron is designed after the Ultra-Chron diver that debuted in 1968, a great year for dive watches, for watches in general. And that watch had a high frequency movement. So the fact that this has a high beat movement, it's designed after that diver, that's all very poetic. This is a nice blend of heritage with very modern materials for a watch. And I'm thinking of the silicone hairspring. I'm thinking of the carbon. I'm thinking of the AR-coated sapphire crystal. But, you know, here's where I find it a bit odd. This looks like a diver. It's paying homage to a diver. It has 300 meters of water resistance like a dive watch should, but it's not a diver. This bezel with the markings 260, this is for show only. This does not rotate. This is a fixed bezel that fakes you out. You think this is a rotating bezel like the stainless steel Ultra-Chron, but it's not. And you know what? That's just throwing me for a loop. I don't get why they didn't make this a diver. Other brands figure out carbon-made watches with rotating bezels, but Longines just chose not to do that here for whatever reason, and maybe that reason is clear to you. It's just not clear to me. Now, I want to try to keep myself fair and not just bash on this watch. Developing a carbon case is not cheap, and I don't recall Longines ever doing it before, so this should naturally be more expensive than a stainless steel diver, the stainless steel Ultra-Chron, which I have seen in person and I do really enjoy, but the retail price on this edition as shown is $4,900, so nearly $5,000 at retail price, and that is a $1,300 premium over the stainless steel diver that is actually a diver and has a lovely beads of rice style bracelet, same high beat movement, rotating ceramic bezel. This one is $1,300 more than that one. And us watch collectors, I will admit, we are world-renowned price complainers, size complainers. We can complain just about anything. But here, let me add some perspective. Tissot, that is also owned by the Swatch Group, does a full carbon PRX, and they do everything, including the dial, for $995. And honestly, that carbon, dial and case is probably manufactured at the same facility that makes this carbon case. I'm just guessing there. So part of me goes, I like the Ultra-Chron, so why don't I buy a steel Ultra-Chron, buy a carbon PRX for less than the price of this one Ultra-Chron? I don't know. Am I wrong there? Am I crazy? Let me know your perspective below. I do try to be fair. I do try to be positive when I show the watches that I feature here on the channel, but this release just seems out of place to me. It seems a little disconcerting, especially given how Longines has just been killing it lately with great release after great release. I'm just trying to call it like I see it here. Now, one thing to consider, if Longines wanted to expand upon the Ultra-Chron design, why not maybe go blue or green or white dial, or create a special edition dial in stainless steel? Going carbon isn't necessarily bad. I do like the forward thinking. I do like interesting watches. I have, bought full ceramic watches in the past. I've enjoyed carbon watches in the past. I do like going outside the beaten path, but it needs to be priced appropriately. This watch is priced pretty much the same as a titanium Pelagos on a bracelet, so I'm just not seeing the appeal. And that just might be the classic watch collector complaining within me. But you let me know if I'm off base, if there's something here that I'm just not recognizing. I'd welcome all of that discourse below in the comments section. If you are shopping Longines, if you're shopping one of their Hydro Conquest GMTs, or any of the awesome models that Longines makes, again, I recommend Exquisite. You're welcome to use my own sales associate. Shout out my name, tell them Bruce sent you. All of that contact information is below. Like this video if you got something from it, and please subscribe for more content like this. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks.